Hello everybody, we are going to be doing some story problems. I have my phone taped up to a drawer to have this view, so you will not be seeing my face. I've had to get very creative with how I'm going to show these lessons. So bear with me if anything happens. All right, so first thing we have to do is read our word problem. And our word problem right now is Joey had some pencils. Sam gave him 10 more pencils. Now Joey has 13 pencils. How many pencils did Joey have to start? So the first thing we do is we got to figure out what is our question. What are we trying to figure out in this problem? And that's right here. That's always usually at the end. How many pencils did Joey have to start with? We only know he had some. That doesn't tell us how many he had. So now we're going to have to use some manipulatives. I just happened to bring some Unifix cubes home with me. At home you can use cereal, goldfish, forks, spoons, anything that you can find, pennies, anything will work really. They don't have to be the same color or same thing at all either, but that does help. So we need to figure out, what did Joey have to begin with? Sam gave him 10 more. So if someone gives you something, is that adding or subtracting? That's adding. So we know we are going to be adding 10. We don't know how many Joey had, but we know that he got 10 more. But it says now Joey has 13 pencils. So now he has 13. That's his total. That's how many he has all together. So if I know that he has 13 right now, I'm going to go ahead and count out 13 things. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So I know that he ends up with 13. I know that. And I know that Sam gave him 10. So what can I do to figure out how many did he start with? How many did he start with? Blank plus 10 equals 13. I need to know this number. So I only have these two numbers, so what can I do? I have 13. I can do what? Take away those 10 and what's going to be left? How many Joey started with? So first I like to do the manipulatives and then I'm going to draw it. Because when we do a word problem, we use manipulatives, we draw, and then we write our number sentence to match, okay? So I have 13 here. I'm going to take away 10 because that's what Sam gave him. So if I take those away, I'm left with whatever Joey had to begin with. So let's go ahead and do that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So how many are left? 3. So that means Joey had how many to begin with? How many pencils did Joey start with? 3. Is 3, does 3 plus 10 equal 13? 10, 11, 12, 13. It sure does. So what did we do to solve that? What did we do? We had 13. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. We had 13 because we knew that's how many ended with. We took away 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We took away 10, which means subtract. And how many did that leave us with? 3. 13 minus 10 equals 3. How many pencils did Joey have to start? What is our answer? 3. He had 3 pencils. And we solved that problem. We always want to be able to answer the question with the answer right here. So whatever the answer to your number sentence is, should be the answer to this question. So let's check. How many pencils did Joey have to start? 3. If Joey had, we can check it by this. Joey had 3 pencils. Sam gave him 10 more pencils. Now Joey has 13 pencils. Is that right? It sure is. So we have solved that problem. He had 3 pencils to start with. I have pictures, I have number sentences, and I have my answer. That's what you have to have in order to solve a story problem correctly. And manipulatives also are a strategy that we use to help because it's good to put our hands on something. Okay? All right, so we have finished that one. We are moving on to number 2. All right. Sarah has 10 cupcakes. John gives her 5 more cupcakes. How many cupcakes does Sarah have altogether? So, we know she has 10 cupcakes. So I can go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. So there's what Sarah has now. She has 10. John gives her 5 more. If someone gives you something, if they give it to you, are you getting more or are they getting less? If someone's giving you something, you're getting it. That is getting more. If they take something, that would be subtraction, less. So we know we're going to be adding. So John gives her how many? 5. She already has 10. He's going to give her 5 more cupcakes. So then we're going to add 5. 2, 3, 4, and 5. So, gives her 5 more plus 5. It says, how many cupcakes does Sarah have altogether? So how many cupcakes does she have now? Well, she had 10. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And then she gets 5 more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. How many does she have altogether? And I know these are rows of 5, so I can even skip count to make it quicker. 5, 10, 15. She has 15. Is 10 plus 5 15? Sure is. So the answer would be 15 cupcakes. And let's check. How many cupcakes does Sarah have altogether? 10 plus 5 equals 15. She has 15 cupcakes all together. That one was a super easy one. You have part, and you're figuring out the whole. Remember? You could do those number bonds. You're going to have to know those for 2nd grade. Sometimes we do the boxes. Right? So there's different ways, but this is a part, whole problem, just like we always did. We were missing the whole. That's what we needed. Okay? Alrighty, that one was quick and easy. Alright, and I only had 2 whiteboards, so this one is on paper, which is fine. That's even better, really, because the markers erased. So, it says, I know it's probably small, Olivia collected 14 rocks on a walk. 14 rocks. I know that's going to be important. 14 rocks on a walk. Alex gives her some more. Some. That doesn't tell me how many. Now Olivia has 20 rocks. How many rocks did Alex give her? All right, so what are we trying to figure out? How many rocks did Alex give Olivia? So it said Alex gives her some. So we need to figure out how many is some. So what do we know? We know Olivia had how many? 14. She had 14, so we can count out 14. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. So this is how many rocks Olivia had on her walk. Then later, her friend Alex gives her some more. We don't know how many she gives. That's what we're trying to figure out. So she had 15. And if someone's giving you something, you are what? Is that adding to your collection or taking away? Adding to your collection. So we already know we're going to be adding something, but we don't know what. We don't know what some is. But do we know how many she ends up with? We do. It says, now Olivia has 20 rocks. So we're missing this part. We need to find out 14 plus what equals 20. And how can we do that? We can use the whole, remember, just like in a part whole box. We can, that's 14. We can use the whole in the part to figure out the other part. So, she ends up with 20 rocks. So let's figure out how many did Alex give her. So that was 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, and 20. So this is how many rocks Olivia now has after Alex gave her some. So she has 20. And then what can we do to figure out how many Alex gave her? Are we going to add 14 more, or are we going to subtract those 14 that she already had? We're going to subtract the 14 she already had. We know she had started with 14. We want to figure out how many more she got. So we're going to take those 14 out that she started with, and whatever's left is what Alex gave her. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. All right, there's the 14 she started with. They're out. So now we are left with what Alex gave her. So we had 20. We took away the 14 she started with. So now we're going to get our answer. How many did Alex give her? 14 plus what equals 20? Is the same as 20 minus 14. Remember our related facts? So let's figure it out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 20 minus 14 is 6. Let's check it. Is 14 plus 6 20? Let's count on. We start at 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Is that right? It sure is. So our missing part, 14 plus what equals 20? 6. Because 20 minus 14 is 6. That's why it's so important to know these part-whole relationships and our related facts. So you got to make sure that we have our picture too, because will I be able, if you're doing this for me, can I see what you did with the manipulatives? No, so that's why we got to draw it too. So I'm going to draw 20 and then take away 14. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, and 20. So there's my 20 rocks that she ends up with. I'm taking away the 14. And I know that this is all 10, 5, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. And then what do I end up with? 6. just like we did with our manipulatives and our part wholes and related facts. So the answer, how many rocks did Alex give Olivia? She gave 6 rocks. I have number sentences. I have the answer, I have pictures to prove it, and I even use a part whole box, which I know a lot of you do really well with using those part whole boxes, or you can always use the number bonds too. They're the same thing, it's just a different way to show it. I know they do use those as you go to second grade more and more. Okay, so that was our lesson on 3 different problems. So you can see that there's some different ways to solve them. You can figure out the missing part, 14 plus what equals 20? Or you can take the whole and subtract a part to get the other part, right? You could have counted on here and found that answer too, right? So that's what's important about math, is that there are several different ways to figure out problems, and it's whatever works best for you. It's just you have to show your work, that's what the pictures and the number sentences, and then have your answer be written out. 6 rocks, 15 cupcakes. So I know that you know what the answer is, and I can clearly see that on your paper. So on Friday, you're going to be doing 3 word problems just like I did, and you're going to have to do the same things I did. Use a picture, use number sentences, and then state your answer. 6 rocks, 15 cupcakes, 3 pencils, okay? Alrighty, I will see you next time. Thank you for doing the word problems with me today.